Now, many of you will be working hard today to make your dad feel special this Father's Day, but 2/3 of parents think that the role that dads play in raising children is undervalued. A poll by the charity Working with Men suggests that many feel excluded by hospitals and health visitors while their partner is pregnant, for example. It also says there aren't enough services available for fathers with young children.
So we went to Hull, didn't we, to see what you think about it.
I still get my say and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, it's so important that fathers and mothers have a joint role in bringing up their family, yeah.
Mothers tend to be quite dominant raising the children, and I don't think you see many, you know, it's always like dad's the breadwinner, mum stays at home, when really it could be the other way around.
Yes, I think all children need a dad. I think all children should spend time with both a mother and a father, or at least have a good male role model in their lives.
When it comes to law, when it comes to fathers, I mean, say for example if you split up, like the father just doesn't seem to have any rights, do they, you know? I mean, you see people fighting for the children and they just get nowhere, don't they?
When we were children, you looked up to your father and he was sort of the hierarchy of the family, I suppose, and nowadays I don't think kids do.
I do think that it all boils down to mum, not dad.
Well, joining us now are Ali Laresh, who has a 13-month-old son, and Shane Ryan, who's Chief Executive of the charity Working with Men. First of all, Ali, then tell us about your experience. You're a little boy now, 13 months old, but not all plain sailing, was it, in the early stages from your point of view?
No, not at all. It was quite difficult, generally speaking. I was dealing with quite bad situations at the beginning, but I kind of, with the support of my girlfriend and family, I got through it. And having Noah was, I suppose, at first it was quite difficult, but then it was like, I kind of grew to it, and Noah, he helped me more than anything, because I woke up and I had something to wake up for at the same time. So I was kind of, whatever I was doing was reflecting on him. So I kind of decided, like, in that sense.
Oh, there we are. There you are with him, little Noah.
Yeah.
On a day out. Beautiful little boy. So you say things weren't plain sailing to start off with. What could have been perhaps done differently for you to get more out of those very early months then with Noah, do you think? Could you have had more help? And what would that perhaps have been?
I had quite a lot of help from working with men and stuff like that. I just suppose that just more bonding would have been, because I didn't know what I was. At first, I was a bit just like, whoa.
Well, of course, this little bundle arrives.
Yeah.
It is, excuse me, Shane, it is daunting for any new parent, mother or father.
It is.
Why do you feel that fathers are undervalued, maybe not just initially, but also through the early years and as a child grows up?
I think it's still a public perception thing. I think if you look back, I mean, not that I sit all day doing this, but I saw a Carry On film recently, and it was a maternity one. And all the fathers...
1960s, 1950s view, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so all the dads are sitting there, and they're all smoking in a little room, and then they're called out, and their child's pointed out from behind glass, and they go and say to the woman, great job, and they're off down the pub. And I mean, to some people, that's still the perception. That's fathers are breadwinners and not much more. And I mean, when you look around you, you see dads involved in childcare, fully involved in childcare, but it seems as though public perception is slow to catch up with that. You know, and we do need a kind of 21st century approach to working with fathers.
Is there an element as well, and I'm kind of drawing on a little bit of personal experience, of maybe because we're British, maybe because we're a bit more reserved, that dads, often you'll find a group of dads, but if you're going into a situation where there are a lot of mums, you inevitably stand back. So maybe dads need to push themselves forward a bit more.
I'm not sure how well or how dads push themselves forward will go down. I think that if you look across most of the services that we have, they are still geared up primarily towards mothers, as I said before, which is great. But what we need to do is start thinking about dads in the whole process. So, for instance, if there's a situation where mum can't look after the child, there are very few services still that will go out and look and see if dad's actually even involved. You know, at that level, I mean, Ali's a young father. We don't know how many young fathers are in the country. You know, we know how many young mothers we have, but we don't know how many young fathers. Those kind of things are really important.
Sorry? Without wishing to be glib.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we don't know where they are.
Yeah.
And we have no way of contacting them. So the situation is that what we need to do is just change their approach slightly. You know, as I say, 21st century. Let's change the approach and not have that kind of carry-on film type approach to working with dads.
So Ali, is it about role models? Do you think, and how are you going to go forward now with a little Noah? Have you got sort of a plan of what you want to be involved with and what you want to do with him?
Yeah, I try and do everything with him as much as I can. I kind of enjoy doing anything. I mean, like from baths to reading him stories and stuff. I enjoy it all. It's not something really. I mean, I suppose it's quite difficult because when my girlfriend was pregnant for him, it's not really. I'm not really involved in that sense because she feels the movements. It's not the same for me. So it's kind of. I didn't really think I was having a child. Not to the point of when she gave birth. When she gave birth, it was like, whoa. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like he's quite lucky to have you as a dad. If you're so keen to be involved, I think that's the sort of benchmark from which you can start, isn't it?
But there are a lot of dads like Ali around, particularly young fathers. There's this idea that they're all feckless and don't want to look after their children. And we come into contact every day with dads that love their children and want to look after their children. They don't want anything for that. We just have to support them more in doing it.
Well, it's all about celebrating dads today because it's Father's Day.
It is indeed.
So we're sharing in that, and thank you both very much for coming in.
Have a nice Father's Day.
Thank you.
I'm sure Noah will have made you a nice card.
Thank you.